Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how we're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have the Empress. Joy, happiness, abundance, right? Juice. This is the Empress is all about what is fruitful, fertile and wonderful in our lives. It's a card of ease and enjoyment, sensuality, sexuality even, or anything that is fruit of the life, fruit of the loom, right? In that kind of sense. One of the things with this card as well, it tends to see whatever we want to do, whatever we want to grow, whatever we want to create, it has more chance of doing so because it's a true card of fertility. So wherever we put our efforts, whenever the Empress shows up, it's likely to be that we're sowing seeds that are going to grow really well. All right, so this could be really, really nice. For your before we get into your cards, if you haven't got your seat on the winter solstice session yet, you can do so on the link in the description box below. It's going to be awesome, right? I've got two very special guests, Denise from Human Design with Denise. I've got Heather from Astrology with Heather. We're going to be talking astrology, numerology, tarot, human design, future life progression, and there will also be a recording for you to watch later if you can't make it on the day. So trust me, this time you do not want to miss it, all right? For your actions and options this week, you've got the King of Pentacles. So a Taurus male could very well feature for you over the course of this week before we even go anywhere else. What this also suggests to me as well is that this could be you. For some of you, this could be all about work. It could be about the job that you have. It could be about the job that you want or the career that you are deciding to chase after. The King of Pentacles has a very practical leaning in that regard, and it usually talks to promotions, pay rises, anywhere that we're really choosing to elevate ourselves or to go, you know, in a solid sort of direction. Now you've got this as your actions and options, which suggests that you are bringing everything that you're doing this week down to ground, right? This is about you planting your feet and saying, this is what I want, this is what I want to experience, this is where I want to go. You couple this then with that Empress energy, and this is really you thinking about what it is that you want from life on the material level. This is you getting really serious about what you want to earn, what you want to eat, how you want to look. This is you really paying attention to the whole, to the holistic energy of yourself, right? Like literally all parts of your life, all facets of yourself are going to become really prominent for you this week. So it's kind of like you're really deciding to look after yourself on that tangible level. Now, this could also be that a Taurus male, possibly a Libran male, but unlikely, might feature for you this week. This might be somebody that you meet, somebody that you spend time with, somebody that you, somebody that you meet, spend time with, somebody that you align with, or maybe even collaborate with. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Swords, right? So the first thing that I want to say to you is this week, when it comes to your communications, it looks like they're slow, right? It doesn't mean that they're bad or anything like that. It's just slow and steady. And I kind of get the feeling from this as well. This week, you're not taking anything for granted, but you're also not taking anything at face value. It's like, I hear what you're saying, but I want to see the action. I hear what you're saying, but you know what? I need to see more than that. It's like, even if you can visualize something, which you guys do very, very well, that's not enough. You need to see the action. You need to see the tangibles, like something physical that you can hold, that you can touch, that you can interact with, quite frankly. I think this is going to be a real powerful week for honesty. And I think in a lot of ways, it's going to see you really elevating your communication and also tapping into your own intuitive capabilities. But this is going to be on a very physical or very practical level. So if you're usually the sort of person that sees, you know, visions, or maybe you hear your messages, this might be a week where you feel them, right? Where your physical senses are what speaks to you about people that you do want to be around, about people that you don't want to be around, about what is likely to happen or not happen, or how it's going to go. Pay attention to those physical sort of intuitive nudges this week, because those are what's going to lead you forward. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, it does suggest that this week you might have a decision to make between what is easy and what is necessary, right? So you might be having a challenging conversation with a boss, an authority figure. Maybe you're having to really fight for or to press for something that you truly want or desire. And maybe the support isn't there, but you know, maybe it's not so much that the support's not there. It's like they can't really see the reason for you asking for what you're asking for. So you might have to kind of hedge your bets and say, okay, maybe this isn't the right time for this conversation, or it's not going to go well. And if you have that intuitive feeling they're probably not going to go for this today, then hold back, right? And that same intuition will tell you when the right moment is. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this week you're tapping into something that only you can understand, or only that you can see, right? So if you're deciding to do something new with your business, if you're deciding to take your work in a different direction, or even to do something new with your clients, this is where you're going to have to lead by example. They may not necessarily get it at first, but they will meet you there once you're in that space, right? This is kind of one of those you've got to build it for people to come sort of energies. Because you've got this with the Empress as well, everything that you do this week has to have an element of enjoyment, right? And that's for all of you Pisces across the board, right? If it makes you feel good, if it makes others feel good, if it makes people laugh, if it makes people smile, if it just makes people feel good, then it's definitely the right way to go. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, this week you might find that I almost want to say you're having to play mediator between the men and the women in your life, whether this is somebody else's relationship, whether this is, you know, your own relationship, whether it's your children, whether it's your colleagues. Well, maybe not colleagues because you're retired, but there's something here where it's like you're having to mediate, and it's like you can see how a situation will escalate, and it's up to you to really be that thing that kind of makes the bubbles disappear so that it doesn't, you know, start to overflow. For your love and relations, you've got the Knight of Cups. So for those of you that are single and ready to mingle, my money is on it being an earth sign. This could be an earth sign maybe that comes to you and says, look, you know what, I've really had a crush on you for the longest time, or actually, do you want to go out for coffee, or do you want to spend some time together? The reason I say this is because the Knight of Cups isn't just offers and opportunities, it's usually a declaration of love. And so what this tells me is that somebody, you might be this week, you realize you've got a secret admirer. Maybe somebody says to you, look, you know what, do you want to go out for coffee? Do you want to spend some time together? Do you want to, like, whatever it is. Potential love interests come to you this week, right? You don't have to chase them. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, some sort of travel taking place here, and wherever you're going, it looks like a very beautiful place. Somewhere that is, you know, for you considered a real natural beauty, or somewhere of profound natural beauty that makes you feel good, that makes you feel sort of, you know, one of those really lush, beautiful climates that has like a, you know, like almost like a tropical feel to it, right? And even if that's not the case, it could just be that the elements are supporting whatever connections you've got going on. But I will say this: if you are in a partnership or a relationship, this would be a really good week to get out of the place that you live in. All right, so this would be a really good week to go to. Maybe take your partner to somewhere that you guys have always wanted to go to. Maybe take your partner to somewhere that you've always wanted to visit. Just getting out of what is the usual norm for you guys will really do wonders for the relationship. All right. So, and then finally for your money and materials, you've got the Seven of Cups, right? So I don't think that this is confusion about money. I actually feel more than anything, this is worry about money. It's kind of like, oh, you know, do I have enough money to do this? You know, is this going to happen? You've got this with that Two of Swords there. And it's like your mind is making something a lot worse than it is when it comes to your finances. It's like you're either hyping it up or, you know, which is, you know, what your mind is supposed to do. That's how it keeps us safe and functioning and alive, right? It's not just a spider. It's, oh my gosh, it's a spider! You know, because once upon a time that spider was really poisonous and that bite would have killed you. Maybe not so much nowadays, right? But this week you're going to have to find a way to maybe as well, for some of you, you can look at your budget or your finances to streamline it, because it is the Seven of Cups, which suggests that maybe you are either paying for things or you've got things going in the background that you either don't use or aren't worth the money that you're paying for them. This could be a really good week to shop around for deals. A really good week for that, actually. And then when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your gonads and your reproductive system. Look after yourself there, especially in terms of the waterworks. You know, just be careful. When it comes to your home and environment, the Seven of Cups is nice for the home and environment because it brings that sort of dreamy Piscean, Neptunian quality into the home, like where home is like, you know, it's that place that you just feel in, right, which should always be the case, but maybe more so this week. For some of you, this could be even a little bit of that hermit energy as well. All right, so your full moon message, I've got that full moon at the end of the week in Gemini. You have the gate 48 and depth. So the full moon is going to excite some of your inner faculties, and I think it's going to show you where you are ready for something new. And for a lot of you, I really do feel like this is going to be in that relationship sector. Interesting as well that you get this message for the full moon, because on the 19th, when the day that we have the full moon, Venus will also be hitting her retrograde. So all in all, not a bad week. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm intrigued to see who shows up for you, because Aquarius also had an earth sign person show up in their reading. So I'm intrigued. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. It would be wonderful to see you at the winter solstice. Take care. Whatever you do or don't celebrate, I will see you soon.